Who wants the last dumpling?
Oh, me.
Penny, a moment. We just had Thai food, and in that culture, the last morsel is called the Grangjai piece, and it is reserved for the most important and valued member of the group.
Thank you all for this high honor.
Penny doesn't really have an advanced science degree or a lot of complicated rules, but she has one thing: she really understands people. She listens with care, speaks with the right tone, and is always a warm and friendly person to be around. There's a lot of skills that you and I can both learn from Penny Hofstadter and start applying to our own lives. So let's get started with skill number 1, which is...
Every Saturday at 8:15. Easy to anticipate.
What are you implying?
I'm implying that you're a creature of habit. And if something were to prevent you from doing your laundry on Saturday at 8:15, you might find it unpleasant. Knuckle under my ass. Oh no. Are all the machines taken?
Make people feel comfortable instantly. Penny has an effortless way of putting people at ease. She doesn't try to impress, she just shows up as herself. Her casual, friendly tone, open body language, and light humor send a clear message. You're safe here. This kind of energy creates a low-pressure environment where people feel like they can be honest, laugh a little, and let their guard down. Penny reminds us that good communication isn't always about saying the right thing. Sometimes it's about creating the right feeling. When others know they won't be judged or interrupted, they're more likely to speak freely. And that's powerful. Making someone feel relaxed is one of the simplest, most generous things that you can do in a conversation. Skill number 2. Read the room without a word. Penny has great social instinct. She doesn't need long explanations or emotional speeches to know when something's off. She picks up on it. Quiet mood, a look, or a pause, she notices. And once she does, she adjusts. She might crack a joke to lift the mood, ask a gentle question, or simply sit beside someone in silence. And that's the real emotional intelligence. Penny teaches us that good communication isn't just about what you say. It's about when not to say anything at all. Because reading the room is about presence and actually paying attention. It shows respect for how others feel, even when they're not ready to talk about it yet. Skill number 3. Be direct but still kind. Penny doesn't beat around the bush. If something bothers her, or if she has advice to give, she says it, clearly and without drama. But what makes her honesty work so well is the way she delivers it. She balances bluntness with warmth. She's not trying to embarrass you or win an argument. She's just being real. That kind of direct but gentle communication builds the trust. You always know where you stand with Penny, but you also feel cared for. She reminds us that feeling the truth doesn't have to hurt. When paired with kindness, directness becomes a gift and not a jab. Penny's funny, but not in a way that hides or deflects. No. Number 4. Use humor to connect, not to cover. Penny's funny, but not in a way that hides or deflects. Her jokes come from a real place, and they're often used to create connection. She doesn't make fun of people, well, unless it's Sheldon, but even then, it's usually with affection. Her humor is warm, relatable, and helps others feel included. She teaches us that laughter in conversation can be a bridge, not a barrier. When we use jokes to actually connect to people, not to cover up our own feelings, it helps everyone feel more relaxed and way more human. Penny proves that being funny and real is the sweet spot of communication. Skill number 5. Actually listen like you care. Because Penny actually cares. Penny isn't just waiting for her turn to talk, she actually listens. You can see it in her face, her body language, and the way that she responds to people. She listens even when the person's talking. Like Sheldon isn't exactly great at expressing his emotions, she doesn't just hear the words, she hears the feeling behind them. That kind of active, empathetic listening makes people feel truly seen. Penny reminds us that listening is a gift. When you slow down, stop interrupting, and focus on someone else's experience, you create space for honesty and connection. And that's where the real conversations begin. Skill number 6. Don't pretend to know it all. Penny doesn't really fake expertise. When the group starts talking about physics or quantum mechanics, she doesn't jump in to sound smart. She asks questions, makes a couple jokes, or just listens. And that honesty is refreshing. It makes her more relatable and not less. She teaches us that confidence doesn't come from knowing everything. It comes from being okay with what you don't know. In conversations, it's better to be curious and open than to pretend. When you let go of the need to impress, people feel more comfortable around you. Penny reminds us that being real actually builds that trust. And sometimes a simple "I have no idea what that means" is the most honest and charming response of all. Skill number 6. Let empathy guide the conversation. Penny doesn't really need a script to be supportive. She just listens and leads with heart, whether she's comforting Leonard, dealing with Sheldon's quirks, or helping a friend through something messy. She's tuned in to what people feel. That's empathy in action. She doesn't say, always give advice or try to fix things. Sometimes she just says, yeah, that sucks, and sits with them. And that matters. Penny shows us that in good communication doesn't always require the perfect response. It starts with understanding where someone is emotionally and meeting them from there. Her style reminds us that words aren't always what people remember, it's how we made them feel. Step number 8, or skill number 8, set boundaries even with love. Look, Penny, she's warm, she's funny, she's kind, but she's not really afraid to call someone out when they cross a line. Whether it's standing up for Sheldon's antics or pushing back on behavior that doesn't really feel right, she speaks up without turning things into a fight. That's the magic of firm but loving boundaries. She shows us that kindness doesn't mean saying yes to everything. You can still be supportive while protecting your own comfort, time, or values. Penny teaches us that healthy communication includes limits. It's okay to say no, even with a smile, and still be caring. Skill number 9, be present, phone down, eyes up. Penny is fully there when you're talking to her. She's not scrolling, distracted, or zoning out. She's engaged, and that presence makes people feel important. She shows us that giving someone your full attention is one of the simplest and most meaningful forms of communication. You don't need perfect words, you just need to be there. Make eye contact, listen closely, and show with your body language that you're truly tuned in. Penny reminds us that the real connection happens when we're actually fully present, not half in, half somewhere else. A conversation with someone who's really with you can feel like a gift. Skill number 10. Speak with warmth, not perfection. Penny isn't a fancy speaker. She doesn't try to sound polished or intellectual, but when she talks, people listen because she speaks with heart. Her tone is warm, her words are honest, and her delivery is real. She reminds us that great communication isn't about using big words or sounding impressive. It's about the connection. It's about how you say something, your tone, your empathy, and your presence. Penny shows us that speaking warmly, even in imperfect language, can be far more powerful than saying the right thing in a cold, perfect way. Communication is human, it's not robotic. Penny reminds us that good communication isn't always about sounding smart or sounding perfect, but it's about being real and showing that you actually care. She's great at active listening, she's great at empathy, and she's great at being warm and friendly. A lot of skills you and I can start applying to ourselves today. Thank you very much for watching today's video. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.